Hey guys, and welcome back to Cherry Blossom Corner. Today we're playing Drops of Death. This game pretty recently came out. From my understanding, it's basically a dating sim, but also a murder mystery. I guess one of the main love interests gets randomly assigned to be a serial killer. So I think it's going to be really fun. So let's just start it. Oh, cool. We'll do body type Asia. That's cool. Water splashes as I get into the pool. It's a chilly night out, but in here the air is warm and heavy with humidity. The water is the perfect temperature. I wish my apartment had a hot tub, but that will remain a dream for the foreseeable future. At least the campus recreation center isn't too far from home. I close my eyes and float in the water. With the air so warm around me, I feel like I could drift away. Right now, this is the sort of relaxation I need. Last week's midterms were awful, and I still have a migraine from the last minute crunch. I really need to start studying earlier. Obnoxious swimmer. People are trying to swim here, you know. I open my eyes. Three girls stand in the water near me. The one in front looks annoyed, her arms crossed, while the other two just look embarrassed. Are you talking to me? Who else would I be talking to? Am I in your way or something? I glance around and wave my hand at the large pool. I doubt the three of you need all this space. We're here to do work and you're taking up space in the pool just to lounge about in the water. Wow, I managed to run into a swimming pool elitist. I didn't even know those existed. I'm a student here, so I have as much right to use this pool as anyone else does. One of the other swimmers grabs her arm. Come on, Kristen, just leave her alone. She's not hurting anything. Fine. I shake my head as the three of them swim to the other end of the pool. That was an argument I did not expect to have today or ever. One of the three girls sets down a buzzer, then they launch into some sort of stretches. They must be competitive swimmers. My thoughts wander to a girl I knew in high school who was trying to become an Olympic swimmer but had little motivation. I wonder what she's doing nowadays. I doubt she made it to the Olympics, but you never know how people might change. Speaking of which, I need to make a change myself, studying. From now on, I'll be on top of it. Maybe I'll talk to Edwin about getting a study group together. See you later. One of the regulars I see here at the recreation center says his goodbyes to whoever is still in the locker rooms and walks past the pool towards the front. I probably should do the same. I need to get started on my homework if I plan to turn over a new leaf. No matter how long I delay, I'll eventually have to brave the cold air. My gaze drifts to the three girls again as they start doing laps. The crash comes from the locker room, then a scuffling sound, and then a scream. What the? I flip upright again to get my head out of the water. The swimmers stop, looking around as if unsure of what they heard and start swimming for the edge of the pool. What's going on? The girl who yelled at me, Kristen, gets out of the water with her fellow swimmers close behind. Someone emerges from the locker room and I look up, expecting to hear an explanation of what happened. Instead, I see a figure in a hooded coat. In their hand is a bloody knife. Okay, killer's weapon is a knife. Kristen doesn't even have time to react. The knife plunges into her stomach. The attacker rips it free with a spray of blood. What? The girl who defended me shrieks as the figure advances toward her. This is a stunt, right? Some sort of show? This can't really be happening. I feel dizzy. The world wobbles around me. Everything feels hazy and unreal. Why did I pick this night to relax in the pool? Why did I decide to stay as long as I did? Why didn't I leave when that girl picked a fight with me? The options run through my mind, all the different paths I could have taken as I watched the scene with growing horror. The third swimmer scrambles out of the pool and tries to run. Oh God. Um, Run. I've got to get out of here. I need to. Where to save? I stumble out of the pool and sprint for the door. The floor is slippery beneath my feet. My thoughts briefly go to my gym bag back in the locker room, but there's no time for that now. Behind me, I hear a scream, and then a splash. My body urges me to run faster, but I'm still dripping with water and the floor is slick. The image flashes through my mind over and over of myself slipping and falling to the floor like a victim in a horror movie until my stomach swoops like it's already happened. Holding on to what little composure I have left, I reach the door and push it open. It's late at night, the place is almost completely empty. I race past the weightlifting room and glance inside, but it's empty. I force myself to slow down as I run over the floor's polished tiles, which could be as treacherous as the pool area. Large windows alongside me show it's snowing outside. Don't tell me I have to run out there like this. It'll just be my luck to escape a killer with a knife only to die from exposure as I run through the snow soaking wet. The thought brings a hysterical giggle to my lips, and I bite it back. I force myself to keep running. I'll take my chances with the snow if I have to, and pray I run into someone along the way. This hallway seems longer than it ever did before. I used to appreciate that our campus had such a nice big recreation center. Not anymore. Behind me, the door opens and heavy footsteps follow. My heart leaps into my throat. Oh God. The footsteps sound like they're going faster than I am. I quicken my pace to an all-out run. Someone must still be here. But can they even help me? Will they even try? If I can make it to the front desk, I should have a chance. Someone should be on duty there at all times. Then again, should be doesn't always equal is. They could step out on break without leaving anyone to watch the desk. I round the corner and nearly trip. As I grab the wall to steady myself, I glimpse movement in the corner of my eye. The figure is gaining on me. Down the hallway, music faintly reaches us. It must be coming from the yoga studio, but that feels almost as far away as the lobby. I run towards the yoga room. I have to find someone, preferably a group, although I'm not sure what a group could do. The swimmer's last moments flash through my mind again. My heart is in my throat. I can barely breathe. The door is right in front of me. If I take a shortcut through here, maybe I can block it from the other side. I put on a burst of energy and throw the door open. The music comes from an old MP3 player in the corner, no one nearby it. I scan the room for anything I can use. My gaze lands on a basket of thin yoga mats wrapped up in the corner. I lunge for it and slip one of the mats in between the door handles. I make it just in time. The door strains as the killer pounds on it. It's holding for now, but I don't intend to wait around to find out how long the mat will hold up. Just 2 more hallways to go before I reach the lobby. At last, I wrench open the sliding door that leads into the lobby. Help! Someone help, please! The guy at the front desk jumps and peers up at me. What's wrong? There. My exhaustion starts to overtake my adrenaline at last. Everything blurs as I stare at him. I can barely catch my breath, and my legs ache from running all this way. It doesn't feel real, but I know the killer is still back there. It gives me the jolt I need. At the pool, they killed. Killed? Call for help. He's already reaching for the phone, and the sight fills me with so much relief. I sag and clutch the edge of the lobby desk for support. When I hear the sound of someone picking up on the other end, nothing ever sounded more beautiful. Whoa, we survived. Day 1, Monday.
And you're sure you couldn't see their face?
I'm afraid not. They were wearing a trench coat with the hood up. I couldn't make out anything else.
That's about all we got from the security footage as well.
There must be something, right? Something has to give them a clue about who it was. Sorry, I'm save scumming.
What about their hands?
I think back, trying to remember the killer's hand. It's a blur, a black blur.
I think they were wearing black gloves.
Did you know any of the victims?
No.
No, I think they were competitive swimmers. Did you talk to them that night? Just briefly.
Oh?
What about? My mind flashes back to our argument in the pool. It was such a silly thing to argue over, and it sends a ping of regret through me, even though that girl was the one who instigated it. Wait a minute, you can't possibly suspect me of being involved, right? Tell the truth. No, I have to tell the truth. Even if it makes me look suspicious, lying about it would be worse. I have nothing to hide. We had an argument. One of the girls wanted me to get out of the pool since I was just relaxing in the water, and I refused.
Is everything alright?
What happened? Her friends talked her down and they went to the other side of the pool. I see. He makes a note of that. What about this man? Do you know him? He shows me a headshot from a student idea of a young, toned man. His face doesn't look completely unfamiliar, but not familiar enough for me to even place him.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't. Is that who screamed before we saw the killer? Was he a victim too?
That's fair.
That's fine, don't worry. Now, I want you to try to answer this as best you can. Take your time and think about it carefully. Do you know of anyone who might want to kill you? My blood runs cold at his question. You're not saying that the killer was there for me specifically, are you? I had assumed it was one of two things. Either the killer picked their targets indiscriminately in some sort of rage and we just happened to be there at the time, or they were targeting the swim team and I had to be silenced as a potential witness. It didn't occur to me that I might have been a target. I don't have any proof of that. However, we need to keep every possibility in mind, so think carefully and answer the question. No, I can't think of anyone who would want to kill me. I don't have any enemies that I know of. Even saying that out loud feels like something from a movie. What about an ex? My last relationship was in high school. It wasn't a bad breakup, but we never talked to each other after that. That was years ago, though. A coworker, perhaps? I'm not currently working anywhere. A classmate you're on bad terms with, then?
No.
No, I don't know of any classmates who have anything against me. I shake my head. I really can't think of anyone. He makes another note. We'll have an officer monitor your apartment for the next few days. Please try to limit your activities outside of your apartment as much as you can and get home before dark. Considering it's November, that's easier said than done. It gets dark out pretty early and I still have classes to attend. If we catch the killer quickly, you won't be in any danger. What if you don't? Let's hope it doesn't come to that. He stands up. If you remember anything else, please call.
Thank you.
He escorts me into the lobby. By the way, what was your name again?
Hello?
Detective Singh. Thank you for your help, Detective Singh. He looks around. Where is Kim? I intended to introduce you to him next. Kim? A psychologist. Talking to him might help after what you've been through. Yeah, I'm feeling fine right now, but I have a feeling there will come a point when everything crashes in on me. At least I'm wearing my own clothes again. The police were able to get my things from the locker room for me so that I could change before the interrogation.
Nick, there you are. You weren't in your cubicle. I sat there for like 10 minutes waiting.
I do work away from my desk sometimes, you know.
So his first name is Nick, is it? I glance from him to the young woman who came looking for him and Singh sighs.
Adrian, this is Fawn. She's a junior detective.
Not to mention a top-notch true crime blogger.
Yes, that too.
Fawn holds out her hand with a huge smile. It's nice to meet you. Adrian, was it? That's right, good to meet you. So, did someone steal your wallet? Or maybe the neighbors got a little too rowdy? Someone tried to kill me. Oh. Her smile fades. Sorry, didn't mean to make light of the situation. It's fine. She was a witness to the murders at the pool last night. I just finished questioning her. She looks at me with wide eyes.
Hmm.
If you came in last night, you must be starving. Did anyone get you any food? That's fine. Our coffee isn't the best, but it'll at least wake you up. Oh, and we have croissants and muffins in the break room. They're from the bakery across from the new sushi place, if you've ever been there. Coffee and food both sound good at the moment. I'm not sure if I fell asleep last night or not after the cops arrived. Everything's such a blur. By tonight, this morning will probably blur together with the rest, too. I like their muffins. I'll bring you a plate then. He walks off briskly toward another room, leaving me alone with Fawn.
Oh.
So, you're a student at the university? Yeah, I'm a junior in integrated marketing. That sounds cool. I took a few courses in creative writing there last year. Oh, yes, you said something about a blog?
Yep.
Yep. I run a blog and blog about serial killers and unsolved crimes. Oh. I'm branching out into mysteries and the unknown too. She hands me a glossy business card with a cartoon ghost beside the name and a splatter of blood above her social media handles. Fawning for crime? Detective Singh returns then carrying a small plate and a cup of coffee. The smell of coffee reaches me the moment he enters the lobby, and as he gets closer, I see the plate contains a muffin, bagel, and cream cheese. It's a lot more than I typically have for breakfast, but I can't say I'm not grateful. I accept the plate and sit down on the lobby bench. If you don't mind, I'd like to say a few more things while you eat. I nod and spread the cream cheese on the bagel. Biting into it tastes like the most delicious bagel I've ever eaten. I must have been hungrier than I thought. As you know, I'm a homicide detective. I'm the lead detective on this case, so I'll help make sure you're safe at your apartment. He's a bit young for a homicide detective, isn't he? I don't know how old you have to be to become a detective, but I always pictured homicide detectives as grizzled, hardened veterans. This is only my third year on the force, but this isn't my first homicide case. Now, Nick, you can't compare a case like this with that last one. True. The last homicide case I worked was a jealous ex-boyfriend, easy enough to track him down and catch him. This one, however, 4 murders in one night by a solo culprit in a public building is unheard of in these parts. Is this a serial killer? A serial killer is someone who murders multiple people seemingly at random, with victims typically fitting a set profile, and with a notable period of time between murders. We need more evidence before declaring a case to be such. Right now, I would be more concerned about the potential that this is a spree killer. He must notice my blank look because he lifts his hand and shakes his head.
I apologize.
Apologies. I'm sure the precise terminology doesn't matter as much if you aren't in the business.
Don't be stupid.
Don't put it like that, Nick. Saying you're in the business makes it sound more like you're an assassin than a homicide detective. He ignores her and continues speaking to me. Regardless of what profile best fits the criminal, it's best to be cautious. After all, even if this was an isolated incident, the culprit might see you as a loose end. Right. We'll find them, don't worry.
Oh, there you are.
Ah, Dr. Kim. I was about to go looking for you. This is Adrian.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Adrian. I'm Kim Tae-young, our resident psychologist.
Hi.
If you feel stressed or anxious, I'd be happy to arrange a time to meet with you. On the other hand, you don't have to. I'll get paid either way.
Kim?
Kidding. You might feel
Oh,
okay now.
I clicked past that, my bad.
Grief and stress can sneak up on you, especially in cases like this. Trauma has a funny way of showing itself. I highly recommend an appointment. Perhaps sometime tomorrow? If you don't like talking, I can just prattle on.
Sure.
I can't tell when he's being serious and when he isn't. Then again, maybe that's a good thing. It might help me relax. Let's see. Anytime after 4 should be good. Great, I'll see you then. Of course, if you have any concerns, I have a few minutes right now.
No.
No, not really. Well, there is the matter of my memories. Everything from last night just feels like a blur.
This is natural.
Don't worry, that's normal.
Hmm.
Nick, how many volts did you fire at that domestic dispute call last month?
What?
Our brains are hardwired to protect ourselves. When cops are in the line of fire, sometimes they recall things in perfect detail, and other times they completely mix up events.
Not necessarily.
It's not uncommon for someone to recall shooting 2 bullets but have 5 missing from their gun. You can't use me as an example when that was over a month ago. Also, the answer is 1. I fired 1 warning shot exactly as I wrote in my case report. Sure. Anyway, my point is that our brains will try to protect us from traumatizing memories. I'll keep that in mind. See you tomorrow then.
Oh.
Will you be heading home now, Adrian? I thought about it, but I'm not sure I want to be alone for that long. I think I'll go to class instead. Try to keep my mind on it.
That's fair.
Probably for the best. What happens now? We'll investigate the crime scene and look into potential suspects. For your part, all you need to do is stay safe and let us know if you remember anything.
I'm not entirely sure.
Right now, we haven't found any other witnesses, although we're still asking around. He starts to say something else, but then the lobby door opens and he glances over as a young woman is escorted in. Detective Singh, Natasha Diadrio is here. Very good, you may go. The officer nods, and the newcomer, Natasha, approaches us with an uncertain look.
I was told you need to talk to me about something.
Hmm? Did no one tell you the news? Well, I suppose it will have to be me then.
He turns back to me. Here's my number if you need to contact me. I need to take care of something now. He hands me a card with his name and phone number on it, and then he ushers Natasha into the interrogation room. I watch, slightly uneasy, unable to help wondering if she's part of the case.
See ya.
So you're leaving now? Too bad. I was hoping we could talk more. Be sure to check out my blog if you get a chance. Ask about her blog. So you blog about crime? That's right. I write stories based on cases we've handled here, but with all the names changed, of course. Then I delve into some of the more specific aspects of the case, like the criminal psychology, the nature of the crime, and so on.
This is just a theory, but
The most interesting ones are the unsolved cases. Sometimes I'll write an ending to the story, but then I present other possibilities in the subsequent blog posts. People love trying to figure out the mystery themselves. Have you ever solved an unsolved case that way?
nah.
No, but you never know. She laughs. It's a lot of fun, really. I used to make clickbaity stuff just to get hits, but once I started making content I care about, it got so much better. It took a while for it to take off, but it was worth it in the long run. I'd like to say anyone can do it, but there was some luck and good timing involved, I'll admit. Still, the important thing is that if you work hard enough and ask for help from the people around you, you can do anything. It just takes passion and— oh, sorry, I guess I went into speech mode there. She rubs the back of her neck with an embarrassed smile. No, it's fine. It's cool to hear someone talk about something they're passionate about.
Thank you. Huh.
He is pretty dedicated to his work, too. I guess that's why he doesn't have many friends. Ouch. Harsh. I give myself a shake. I'd better get to class. Thanks, Fawn. It was nice meeting you. Thanks. I'll see you around the station sometime. And check out my blog if it catches your interest.
Bye.
I'll keep it in mind. I don't know if I have the heart to read a blog about true crime stories after what happened last night, but I have to admit I'm intrigued.
See ya.
Take care. When she's gone, I rub my head. Did I really go to class like nothing happened? If only I can remember something about the culprit, anything at all that might help. I close my eyes and concentrate on my horrible encounter with the killer. Yet, I caught such brief glimpses of them I have no hope of figuring out who it was. Lost in thought, the sound of the interrogation room door opening makes me jump.
Have a good day.
If you think of anything that might be useful, no matter how innocuous it seems, please call. I will. I straighten up as the girl called Natasha returns to the lobby. It seems like her interrogation was a lot shorter than mine. Our gazes meet and I freeze. I feel like I should say something, but what?
Hey there.
What?
Uh,
Here for questioning?
Natasha glances over her shoulder at the interrogation room and then back at me.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess that was pretty obvious.
looks like we have something in common then. I mean, that's why I'm here too.
Natasha frowns at me and tilts her head.
You. Must be the witness. From the incident last night.
Yes.
I used to practice with those girls.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I should be leaving.
She walks behind me and I let out a long breath. That was awkward, and now I really need to get going too. So, staying focused on the professor's lecture on the marketing funnel proves to be impossible. Consequences of being up all night are finally hitting me. Next to me, my friend Edwin has no trouble typing notes on his laptop the entire time. Of course, he wasn't running for his life last night. Probably. I checked my phone for the time. It's only been 10 minutes. I can feel every second drip by. Every second. The actual murders must have been over within half a minute, and yet it feels like that part lasted forever. Every second replays in my mind. The scream from the locker room. The hooded figure. The knife. The attack. Blood spraying. When I think about it, it doesn't feel real. It feels like I should be able to go back and change things. Something like this can't have happened. If only I'd realized what was happening when I heard that scream, could we have all gotten out in time? My thoughts begin spiraling out of control. The killer could walk through that door right now. Would I react? Would I be paralyzed and watch that whole situation happen all over again? Would the killer recognize me? Would they ignore the other students and go straight for me or cut them down first? Seeing thinks the killer might see me as a loose end, even if I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. There's every chance that they'll come after me, afraid I saw too much. Surely they wouldn't attack me in the middle of class, and yet... Alright, for our next class, I want each of you to turn in an example of what you think a specific company's marketing funnel looks like. No copying each other's work now. That's all for today. As class finally breaks up, I look around in a daze. Fears and worries are still crowding my mind.
Earth to Adrian. Earth to Adrian. Hey, what's with you today? Did you spend all night partying or something? I never thought you were the type.
He peers directly into my eyes. His gaze seems so vibrant today. I can't help but feel like my own gaze must be the exact opposite.
Hey, is everything okay?
No.
Not really.
What?
What happened? How do I tell people I witnessed a murder and was nearly
You want to get
killed?
lunch?
I manage a nod. Edwin takes me to a popular restaurant downtown. We don't go here often, but I can tell that choosing this place is a subtle way of saying it's on me. He hasn't pressed me anymore about what happened, but it's clear he can tell something is wrong. We sit down and a waitress takes our drink order. Then Edwin looks at me. So, do you want to talk about it? I exhale slowly. I don't even know where to begin.
You okay?
Did something happen?
Uh,
That's one way of putting it. Last night I went to the rec center and spent some time relaxing in the pool, and there was a fight in the locker room or something. Someone came out with a knife.
Wait, what?
The swimmers who were there with me, they got stabbed, killed. I made it to the lobby and called the cops, spent the night in the police station. Edwin stares at me, his mouth open in shock. You... what? This isn't some sort of joke, is it? I shake my head.
seriously?
I wouldn't joke about something like this. He grabs one of the rolls and tears it. When I asked if something was wrong, I thought you'd say your dog had died or there was a family emergency or something like that. Not this. Yeah. I swallow hard. You can see why I'm a little distracted today. Did they catch the person who did it? Shake my head.
Wait, what?
The killer must have left through another entrance. The police are looking for clues, but there isn't a lot to go on.
Huh?
But you were there. You saw them. To be honest, I couldn't make out much about them. They were wearing a coat with the hood up and they had gloves on. I can't even say for sure if it was a man or a woman. I shiver at the memory. Edwin looks away.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. It's fine. While the rest of the restaurant is lively, our table falls silent. I look out the window. Outside, the snow from last night still lingers on the bushes and street lamps. Everything looks so fresh and beautiful, yet now I can't help but imagine that white snow stained red from blood. I gotta stop thinking things like this. I'm surprised you still came to class. He takes a sip of his drink. If it were me, I'd still be in my room in the fraternity with the door locked. That's just as dangerous. You mean because the killer could go after you and find a way inside the room and then you'd be all alone? Well, I meant because being left alone with your thoughts after something like that can be just as dangerous as a knife, but thank you for that lovely thought. I'm sorry. Looks like I've got another sleepless night waiting for me. Will you be safe at your apartment? I should be. The police will be monitoring the area for at least the next week. A week? They think it'll take that long to find the killer? Who knows? I wish there was more I could do to help. He sets down his drink and fixes me with a serious look. I don't really know what you're going through right now, but you're one of my closest friends. If you need anything or want to talk to anyone, just say the word.
Thank you.
How about it?
And if there's anything I can do to help you feel safe, if you want me to stay over for a couple nights, or if you want to crash at the fraternity for a while.
Huh?
Is that even allowed? No, but that's exactly why it's the last place the killer would look. I think Detective Singh would have a thing or two to say about that. Thanks, Edwin. I think I'll be fine for now, but I really appreciate it. Anytime. I go back to staring out the window as I enjoy my drink. Everywhere I look, people are going about their daily business. They bustle into restaurants to get out of the cold or grab lunch. Some carry bags, probably filled with Christmas presents. Then I spot someone familiar on the sidewalk. Isn't that Natasha? I'm not just gonna ditch Edwin. I turn away from the window and give my head a shake in the hopes of clearing out these strange thoughts. Natasha and I barely know each other. Our conversation this morning was awkward enough. Besides, I probably should avoid anyone connected to the crime until they catch the killer. That sends my thoughts spiraling down a whole new dark path. What if she's the killer? Should I be worried that she's right outside? Is it really just a coincidence that we'd both be here? Earth to Adrian, am I losing you again? I jump. Sorry about that. I saw someone I recognized outside. She was at the station this precinct this morning for questioning. About the incident last night? Yeah, she knew the
Be
victims.
careful.
You should probably stay away from her for now. I nod and take another drink. Why is she here? It's probably just a coincidence. This isn't that big of an area after all. It's not too weird to run into someone from campus.
I don't know. I
I guess so. I hope we're both just being paranoid right now. Are you sure you'll feel safe at your apartment? I'll be fine. Under his worried look, I sigh. If you want to help, you can drive me home after we eat. Just don't get caught up in worrying about me that you forget about the assignment. Me? I should be saying that to you. Please, I can do a marketing funnel in my sleep. Perfect, then you can do mine while you're napping. In your dreams. We actually could work together pretty easily if we wanted to. Restaurants probably use pretty similar marketing strategies. If we did one on a generic restaurant and then changed the names and a few details, I bet no one would ever know.
How
Sneaky.
about it?
What do you say? I call dibs on this place. A few minutes later, we worked out a marketing funnel and our food has arrived. Easy as pie. And much more boring. Maybe you'll get a job at a place that wants to differentiate their marketing plan. If I do, it won't be around here. I'm not sure what I was expecting when I came here, but it wasn't this. I nod. Edwin comes from out of state since his father is an alum. I moved here from a few cities away, but even I can agree that this isn't exactly the most happening town around. At least there's always something happening on campus. Something. My mind flashes back to the pool, and I drag my thoughts away from that with difficulty, forcing myself to keep talking. Surely your fraternity has stuff going on. Stuff. That's a good word for it. We're one of the more formal fraternities, but I swear they have keg stands bi-weekly. There must be more than that.
Whatever.
There are the trips, I guess, going off to Europe or the Congo or Brazil. I've gone on a few trips with them, but between senior year coming up and this internship, I haven't been able to recently. Now that's the hard life, only being able to take international vacations a couple times a year. He laughs. Alright, maybe that didn't come across quite the way I meant it. I'm just saying, it's not as thrilling as you might think. I have a lot more fun when we're together. Flatterer, you must want something.
What?
I'm serious, we should hang out more often. I mean, maybe if I had been with you last night. He trails off and I look away. How's the internship going? It's the most forced way to change the subject I can think of, but Edwin doesn't comment on it. He takes a bite of his salad and considers the question. It's fine. Well, thank you for that insightful commentary to keep the conversation going. I wish I could find a good internship around here, especially one with pay. Weren't you with some insurance company for a while? Yeah, but they never let me near any of the actual marketing stuff. I was just running errands and looking over basic materials I already learned in marketing and management. What's the point of an internship if it's going to be like that? Ugh, sounds rough. It was a recommendation, too. I'll lay 10 to 1 odds the professor who suggested it knows someone at the company. After all, you know what they say. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Exactly. Yet here we are, paying good money to study. Ah, that's where you're wrong. We're paying good money for the chance to make connections. Networking, you know? Sure, a degree is important, but we could learn marketing online if we wanted to. I could make connections online if I wanted to, too. That's not the same thing. Isn't it? I met a girl today who runs a blog. She gave me a business card and everything. Online networking is the way of the future. Come on, you can't compare a random blog to something like this. If you say so. Think of it like this. You've already paid them, so you should go to as many events as you can to get as much out of it as possible.
Yeah.
That's more like it. There's going to be a winter festival soon, for example. If you'd like to go to that, I'd be happy to take you. We'll see. Aha. So you talk about wanting to get your money's worth, but when it comes down to it, you're not actually interested in going to events. Is that it? More like I'll be waiting to see if there's still a killer on the loose. I'd be there with you. What? Don't you think I could keep you safe?
Huh?
Huh? Besides, you don't even know if the killer is after you. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you didn't see anything.
What are you talking about?
You know that, and I know that, but the killer might not know that. Edwin sighs. There's no point in speculating about it now, I guess. We'll see when the time comes. The waitress brings our bill to the table and Edwin pays. Once he signs the check, he looks up at me. Ready to go?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again. Don't mention it. Anytime you want to go out, even if it's just to keep your mind off things, just say the word. Edwin parks just outside my apartment building. He peers out the window at the building with a worried frown. Are you sure you'll be alright here? Come on, quit it. At this rate, you'll make me even more paranoid than I already am.
Whatever.
With the killer out there to get you, a little paranoia might not be such a bad thing. You need a key to get into the building, so unless someone else let the killer in, there's nothing to worry about. Uh-huh. And have you seen how often someone walking into a building like this helpfully holds the door open for a random stranger behind them? Even so, there's no way they could get into my apartment without a key, so I'll be perfectly fine as long as the killer isn't waiting in the hallway to jump out at me as I pass. He rubs his forehead. I can't believe this is happening. Look, I'll wait out here just in case. Wave to me once you get into your apartment so I know you made it in, alright? Alright. No one is waiting in the halls to jump out at me, so despite a harrowing journey up the stairs due to my Edwin-induced paranoia, I make it into my apartment to the front door of my apartment where I see today's papers sitting at my door. I pick it up inside the massive headline on the front page. Murder at University Pool. Murderer still at large.
Oh.
Great. I make my way into my apartment. You know, Edwin has a point. Like the famous quote goes, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't after you. And when you have a legitimate reason to think someone is out to get you, it pays to be cautious. I walk to the window and look out. Edwin is still parked down below, so I wave. He waves back, and a moment later, I hear the engine start up. Come to think of it, what was the plan if I didn't wave? He'd wait a few minutes and then come in after me? I exhale slowly and walk through the apartment to check each room, just in case. Usually it's nice having the place all to myself, but just this once, I wish my roommate was here. The quiet stillness of the apartment feels staggering, yet each noise plays on my nerves. The sharp ringing of my phone cuts through the silence, and I nearly jump out of my skin. Ah! Hard hammering, I take a breath to compose myself and answer the phone.
Hello?
Hello?
It's me, Detective Singh. You know, the detective from this morning? How bad does he think my memory is? I remember you.
Is everything alright?
Did something happen? You sound like you're out of breath. The phone ringing just gave me a start, that's
I
all.
apologize.
Oh, sorry about that. I just thought I'd call to make sure everything is all right and let you know that the officers watching the apartment building will be changing shifts soon. All right, thank you. I didn't even notice the surveillance when we drove up. I walk to the window and look out again. It takes a bit of scanning, but this time I notice the police car parked nearby. Are there any new leads? What, since this morning? Sometimes these things are wrapped up pretty quickly, aren't they?
Unfortunately.
Maybe so, but not this time. I'm not supposed to tell you anything about the case either. This stuff needs to be kept secret, even from the primary witness. See. What I can tell you is that we don't have anyone who can provide more information than you did about the killer's identity. The mix of victims is puzzling as well. Is it possible that the guy in the locker room was the main target and the rest of us were targeted as potential witnesses? We're pursuing that as a potential lead, although at this point it seems unlikely. It certainly appears premeditated. No matter who the primary target was, the killer went to the pool that day specifically to kill someone. His casual delivery of something so chilling makes me shiver. I see.
I apologize.
I apologize if that was harsh. No, it's fine. It's hard to believe a killer like that is still out there. Before I let you go, there is one last thing I need to know. Where is your roommate? The officers monitoring your place should be given a description of your roommate so they'll know who to look for and not raise an alarm.
No.
She doesn't stay here much, to be honest. She's graduating this semester, so she's only taking a couple of classes. She has short red hair and drives a black car, but I doubt she'll be back anytime this week. I see. I'll pass along that description regardless. Now, I think that about covers it unless there's something else you need. No, but thank you again for all your help.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'm just doing my job. Try to get some sleep tonight. You're in good hands.
Thank you.
I hang up the phone and let out a long breath. If nothing else, at least Singh's call reassured me that I'm safe in my own apartment. Exhausted from a day of worrying, I collapse onto the couch. Here's hoping they catch the killer soon. I'm enjoying this so far. Day 2, Tuesday. I don't have any clues yet, though. Clark, you're up. I can barely focus as our classmate walks to the front of the lecture hall and starts up his slideshow presentation on a food delivery service. Paying attention to presentations like this is difficult at the best of times, but it's especially bad today. This is the third one, and my attention has gradually slipped more and more. Things were fine this morning. When I arrived on campus, I chatted with Edwin like things were normal and even made plans for a study session with some other friends once our classes are done for today. Everything was starting to feel normal, but now it's hitting me all over again. Every time I start to relax, it strikes me that it's so wrong to go back to my normal routine, worrying about grades and presentations, when there's a killer on the loose and the victims will never sit in class ever again. I nearly lost my life. How can I pay attention to marketing presentations? Part of me feels like nothing should ever feel the same. From time to time, Edwin glances over at me in concern. I tap my pencil against my desk and try to silently run through the presentation I'll be giving soon enough. And that's how they might leverage these tactics to target new audiences in the future without losing their established base. Everyone claps and I belatedly join in. Riley, you're next. Riley walks to the front and I manage to drag my thoughts back to the present. Riley has been our friend for 2 years now. I owe it to him to pay attention, even though I know this will be hard to watch. He's nice, but he's terrible at public speaking of any kind. Marketing is only his minor, but that still means he needs to take these classes and do these presentations. Whatever he intends to use his computer science degree for, he probably should hire someone to handle the marketing end of things for him because, I'd like to talk about, he shuffles through his notes and nearly drops them. Oh. As if abruptly realizing his slideshow isn't on the screen yet, he picks up the remote and nearly drops that as well before he finally manages to bring up a slide with a baritone list of points. He finally begins his presentation, but his voice barely rises above a murmur as he rambles on. This definitely isn't your area of expertise, Riley. Still, I managed to stay focused on the painful ordeal for his sake and clap lightly once he's done. Adrian. Alright, I can do this. I just need to stay focused. I walk to the front of the lecture hall and pace while waiting for my presentation to load. This only has to be 5 minutes long, so it shouldn't be too bad. I know my stuff, too. The lecture hall is crowded with students. Some are looking at me, some are playing with their phones, and some have their faces hidden behind their laptops. At least 2 look like they're sleeping instead of paying attention to anything. A perfectly normal scene. Just like the pool was, right up until it happened. The world spins around me. My head pounds. A wave of nausea rolls over me. Maybe I should sit down. Adrian, are you ready? I feel like I'm going to be sick. If you're not feeling well, you can give the presentation while sitting down. Thanks. I grab a chair and sit down, and then let out a slow breath. Edwin and Riley are both watching me with concern. Sitting helps in as much as I don't think I could stand now if I tried. I put my head in one hand and focus on breathing. At this rate, at least Riley won't have the most embarrassing presentation here. The hysterical giggles threaten to escape me and I bite it back with difficulty. Adrian, is everything all right? How can you ask that? Nothing will ever be all right again. The killer could walk in right now. I force away that thought and wet my lips. Okay. My slideshow is up on the screen and I know what I'm supposed to say. I wet my lips again and force myself to speak. This marketing strategy is one commonly used by restaurants. I barely know if I get the words out in the right order. I almost feel as though I am a parrot repeating words someone else wrote. I mechanically deliver my presentation in a blur until at last I reach the end. Thank you. Our classmates applaud and I stand up on wobbly legs. When I get back to my desk, I ignore Edwin's worried look and gather up all my things instead. I don't think I can sit through the rest of the presentations. Outside the classroom, it occurs to me that I probably shouldn't go wandering around on my own in between classes. I sigh and close my eyes. At least it's better out here without so many people crowding me. I finally started to relax when I hear footsteps. Natasha is walking down the hall, her books clutched close to her chest.
Hey!
Natasha! She jumps and spins towards me, her eyes wide. A moment later, she relaxes. Don't do that. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Sorry. I'd probably freak out if I heard a voice out of nowhere right now, too. She's probably on edge like I am. Are you on your way to class? She nods. I thought I'd get here a little early.
Yeah.
My class is in there. I nod toward the classroom door beside me. I wasn't feeling well, so I had to step out. Natasha glances away. I've had trouble focusing since they told me what happened, too. I wonder if I should take a few days off from classes, but I think that might only make matters worse. That's what I am afraid of, too. Feels like the atmosphere between us has eased somewhat. Bonding over our shared distress in the aftermath of a murder isn't the most ideal way of getting to know someone, but it's a relief to be able to speak with someone who actually knows what this is like. I had a presentation to give today, but as soon as I got to the front of the room, I felt like I was going to be sick. And when I got out here, I didn't feel like I should go too far on my own. Yeah, I'm going to a study group for the first time in my life today just because I didn't want to be alone. A study session in the library? Yeah, why? I'm meeting with the study group today too. Maybe I'll see you there. Could be, yeah. Suddenly my phone rings. The sudden sound startles me and I grab it. The phone number is one I recognize right away. The number Singh told me to contact if I remembered anything. Did they catch the killer? Sorry, I need to take this. Natasha shakes her
I'll
head.
see you around.
I should be getting to class anyway. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too. She continues on down the hallway, and I watch her go for a moment before I return my attention to my phone. I answer.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Adrian. This is Detective Singh. Yes, I recognize the number. Have you made progress on the case? That's what I'm hoping you'll tell me.
Huh?
What?
Listen to me carefully.
We've identified some suspect who were in the area around the time of the crime, and we'd like you to take a look at the lineup when you drop by the station. You want me to come down there? After what just happened in class, I'm not sure it's a good idea for me to drive. Are you on campus? I can send an officer to pick you up. That'd be great, thank you. Sting and I work out where the car will pick me up, and then I wait a couple more minutes before heading there to avoid spending any more time alone than I have to. The lineup, huh? Someone wants me to try to identify the killer? Thought sends a shiver through me, but it isn't as though I can refuse. Good, you've arrived. Do you feel up for looking at the lineup now? Well, I want to get this over with, but I'm starting to feel sick again. I place my hand on the edge of the desk to steady myself, and Singh's eyes narrow.
Is everything alright?
You're pale. Did something happen? I'm just not feeling well today, that's all. I nearly passed out during class. Every time I think I'm okay, I remember what happened, and... Do you think eating something would help? Some crackers, perhaps, or a soda? I'd prefer you to be fully alert while looking at the lineup. Crackers might help. He nods and leaves. While I wait, I sit down and clasp my hands together. Singh wanting me alert just makes me more anxious about the lineup. I've seen police lineups in movies. They line up behind a one-way glass and I have to look at them and try to identify the killer. But the killer didn't have any identifying features. Unless there's an obvious height difference in suspects, I'm not sure I'll be able to narrow it down, let alone pick the right person.
Back already, are you? Whoa, you look like you've seen a ghost. Everything all right?
Oh, God. I accidentally skipped that. Sympathy fills Fawn's face.
Sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that. I know this must be rough. Yeah, Detective Scene went to get me some crackers, though, so maybe that'll help. Her eyebrows fly up. Detective No Social Skills is getting you crackers because you aren't feeling well? Exactly what hold do you have over him? I laugh and shake my head. He wants me to see a lineup, so I need to be able to focus. Oh, now it makes sense. For a moment there, I thought he'd done something accommodating without being prompted first. Glad to hear I'm the hot topic of discussion today. Singh re-enters the lobby with a dry comment and presses a pack of crackers into my hand while he frowns at the junior detective. Be honest, you wouldn't have thought to offer crackers if you didn't need her mind sharp. That's not... He cuts himself off and looks away with a frown. I just hope it's enough. The crackers are fairly bland with only a little salt for flavor, but eating something does make me feel a little better.
I can't believe this.
I'm not confident I'll be of any use at all. Don't worry, lineups are real easy. Have you ever had to look at one? Personally, not yet, but if you don't recognize anyone, don't sweat it. They'll catch the guy eventually. You sound so sure. Well, of course, it's not like we have anything better to do than solve a murder case, trust me. We're not fighting over processing the DUI tickets. Singh coughs loudly, eyebrows raised. We all have to do the grunt work, you know. Don't think you can pawn off your responsibilities by getting attached to this case. On pouts and lift her hands in an exaggerated gesture.
See ya.
Back to work I go then. Adrian, are you ready to get this over with? Anxiety flutters through my stomach again, but I'm ready as I'll ever be. Yeah, let's go. Like I imagined, a glass wall separates the room in half. A group of men stand lined up on the other
It's
side.
one-way glass, right?
Yes, exactly. You can see them, but they can't see you.
That makes me feel better, but this is still nerve-wracking. I can't tell anything about them at all. A couple of the guys are way too burly, and another is so slight it looks like he might snap in half during a fight. I'm able to cross them off the list. The rest, though.
I'm sorry. That's about all I can tell.
Alright, thank you for cooperating. If you do remember anything else.
You'll be the first to know.
Vaughn is waiting for us when we return to the lobby. How did it go? I glance at Singh to get his assessment, but he walks to his desk as though he assumes the question isn't for him. I shrug. Okay, I guess. If I'm honest, I don't know if I helped at all. Picking out 3 people who didn't do it doesn't exactly feel like we're narrowing things down. Are you going to be alright getting home? Do you need an escort? I'd be happy to walk you back to wherever you're going.
Oh.
Ah, right. Singh rejoins us, his brow furrowed. I sent someone to pick you up at campus, so you'll need a ride back. I can drive you.
Interesting.
Offering to drive her? Someone must be awfully important to this investigation, huh? I could handle it if you have important senior detective stuff to do. He shoots her an irritated look, but she just beams back at him. Should I ride home or walk home? Let's ride home.
Thank you.
Thank you, Detective Singh. If it's not too much trouble, I'd appreciate the ride. Hopefully Fawn's not hurt by that. But if I'm not feeling well, I don't think I should walk. I get into the squad car with Singh and he starts driving. Back to campus or your apartment? Campus. Late classes, I see. I have a study session with some friends, actually. Where? One of the lounge areas in the library. You can reserve them ahead of time to make sure they're free. How many people will be there? Not too many, maybe 5 or 6. Sometimes people will bring friends, but it never gets too crowded. Those lounges wouldn't be able to handle a big group. Are there other students usually around at that time? Any teachers? I glance at him. Do you think it's too dangerous?
I'm not entirely sure.
Just looking to get a better picture of the situation. If anything seems off, don't worry, I won't stick around unless I'm sure it's safe. All right. We drive in silence for a few minutes. His cautious questions have joined the rest of my paranoid thoughts bouncing around in my brain. You said you worked as a homicide case before, didn't you? How long did it take to catch that killer? Barely 32 hours.
Huh?
What? You caught them that fast? It was a crime of passion. The victim had recently entered a relationship and her ex-boyfriend was jealous. Once we saw that as a possible motive, it was simple enough to find the connections between him and the crime scene. Finding him took longer than figuring out who did it. I see. That's what makes this case so frustrating. We have no leads on the killer's identity, and the motive remains unclear as well. I turn away to look out the window. Maybe that was a bad thing to talk about. Now, instead of paranoia, it's the apparent hopelessness of the situation that's bouncing around my skull. It's unusual for such a strange crime to happen in a town like this. I know what you mean. It doesn't feel like the sort of thing that could happen around here. I watch the scenery pass until Singh turns down the road towards campus. He pulls up at a curb adjacent to the stone path that leads to the library. This good?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Have fun at your study session. Do you know what a study session is? Yeah, and I know what college students are like. Have fun. I roll my eyes and get out of the car.
Great.
Let's get started. Okay, let's save. What evidence do I have? I'm just looking real quick. Swim cap, Fawn's business card. Claire's oven was a knife. Coffee. Okay. Oh. Oh, let's look at this again. Oh. I feel like that might be an interesting and important detail. The library lounge has a warm, almost cozy atmosphere that makes it easy to relax in. There have been times when I've come here just to get some space and quiet and have time to focus on my thoughts. With the door closed, it's almost like being part of a separate world. A small group has already gathered, mainly friends from our classes. There's no sign of Natasha. Either she's running late or it's a different study session she's attending.
Hey.
Riley, you already started chapter 8, right? Yeah, I didn't get too far, but I'll finish it. Clara, if you can take chapter 10, I'll handle 9. Got it. Adrian, are you good with working on chapter 11? Edwin's voice sounds like it's coming from far off. I blink at him slowly as I realize he's asking something about chapters.
Are you okay?
Adrian, you good? Right. Yeah, that's fine. Chapter 11. I'm on it. I open the textbook and get out my notes. My notes from the last couple of days are a disaster, but hopefully I can do better on that front now. Edwin pulls up a chair next to me.
Hey.
His voice is quiet, so low as to not be overheard by anyone else nearby. Are you sure you're okay with being here? I glance around, but none of the others pay us more than a quick glance. They probably assume we're either discussing the assignment or chatting about normal things. I'll be fine. Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Not really.
What's your funny story?
Sure.
The other day, Corey and I were sitting in the MBA lounge when Joseph walked in, grabbed a chair, and pulled it over to the corner by the bookshelf. Then he pushed up one of the ceiling tiles and pulled a packet of ramen noodles out.
Why does Joseph have a stash of ramen hidden in the ceiling?
Don't look at me. Maybe he was afraid someone would steal it. Anyway, he just walked over to the table and started eating his ramen. We were both staring at him, and after a moment, he just said, "There's a chicken one left if you want it."
Is this supposed to make me feel better?
Is it working?
So, did you take the chicken flavored ramen?
Nah, but now I know where to go if I'm ever starving.
The idea of being trapped in the school with nothing to eat, forced to rely on the emergency ramen supply behind the ceiling tile is so absurd that a smile tugs at my lips in spite of myself.
Thank you.
Thanks, Edwin. Anytime. Feeling a little more like things are just like old times, I start reading the chapter that was assigned to me. This has been our habit for a while now. Whenever we have a large chunk of material we need to study, we divide it up between us. That way we can exchange notes. It's an efficient enough system. Chapter 11 is about working with influencers. It goes into detail about sponsored posts with case studies about an athletic company that contacted influencers who run fitness accounts. I start taking notes. One of the key case studies focuses on posts written by a competitive swimmer. Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. Here to help with our marketing homework, are you? No thanks, I'm part of team math today. You make it sound so fun. Don't let him fool you. He hates math. I lift my head at the sound of Natasha's voice. So she really was coming to the study group after all.
Hey.
I thought I might be seeing you again.
Hi.
Glad to see you're feeling better. She sits down and opens the textbook she brought. It looks like she came with Dennis and the two of them are going over a math assignment together. Edwin looks from me to Natasha in confusion. Do you know each other? Oh, he doesn't know. Come to think of it, I told him about Natasha being outside the cafe, but he never looked out the window to see for himself. Now he obviously expects a fun story about how we met her, something similarly harmless. I can't think of anything that would destroy the mood more than announcing that we met because we're part of the same murder investigation. I meet Edwin's curious gaze and nod towards the door. I'll be back, I need some air. I step outside. Being alone in the library makes me uneasy, but the sound of someone typing on the other end of the room reassures me. A moment later, as expected, the door opens and Edwin follows me out of the lounge. What's going on? Sorry, I thought things would get awkward if I brought it up in there. Do you remember the girl I mentioned, the one who knew the victims? Wait, don't tell me. That's her, Natasha. And she suddenly shows up at our study session? That's pretty suspicious, don't you think?
What are you talking about?
Suspicious?
Careful.
What if she's the culprit? Judging by what happened at the pool, the culprit wouldn't think twice about attacking a whole room of people to get to you.
Seriously?
Come on, that's ridiculous. Someone must have invited her anyway. He returns to the lounge and I hurry after him. Come on, Edwin, don't do anything to make this awkward. To my dismay, he sits down right across from Natasha. So, Natasha, I didn't realize you and Adrian were friends. Did she invite you to join us tonight?
No.
No, Dennis did. You know Adrian? We just met the other day. She looks uncomfortable by the direction this conversation is going, and I don't blame her. I don't want to talk about what happened at the pool.
Whatever.
It's a funny coincidence, I mean, that Dennis would invite you to our study session for the first time so soon after you and Adrian met. Yeah, who'd have guessed, considering everything that happened, I thought it'd be good for Natasha to get her mind off of things. Everything that happened? What do you mean? Natasha looks down at her textbook as though trying to block the rest of the world out. I clear my throat.
Hey!
Hey, aren't we supposed to be studying? I clap my hands together. Come on, let's get back to it. Dang, Adrian, when did you become such a stickler? Since I saw my grade on our last exam. That sends a ripple of laughter through the group and everyone returns to their work. Natasha catches my gaze and gives me a slight nod. I nod back and then return to reading my chapter of the textbooks, skipping over the summer case study. As the time passes, I start to feel relaxed again. It's easier to slip into my routine and convince myself life will go back to normal. After about an hour, Natasha closes her textbook and stands up.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
That's about it for me. It was good meeting you all. Her gaze lands on me. And good seeing you again, Adrian. You too. I wave goodbye to Natasha. As usual, after our study sessions, I drive behind Riley towards our apartment building. He turns down the dark, unlit road until I absolutely abhor now more than ever. The sole streetlight does nothing against the shadows of the tall trees on either side. It should be illegal to have a city street this dark. Driving down here is nerve-wracking at the best of times, let alone when I have every reason to want to avoid isolated places. The sight of the brightly lit apartment building makes me exhale in relief. It's good to see the police cruiser making its lap around the complex, too. All the same, once I park and get out of my car, I glance over my shoulder the entire way up the stairs. Home sweet home. I can't lock the door fast enough. Then I turn around and the hair on the back of my neck stands on end. Something is wrong. It's hard to put my finger on exactly what it is, but something is wrong. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. I grab the edge of the couch for support and take deep breaths. Each breath seems to restore some clarity. First, it doesn't seem like anyone is here. I'm in no immediate danger. Another breath. I need to stay calm and figure out what it is. After one more breath, I'm able to look around the apartment without panicking. That book isn't where I left it this morning. It's been moved slightly to the side, and that drawer wasn't open when I left either. The more I look, the more I see tiny signs here and there that someone was in my apartment. All of them together add up to a sense of wrongness that struck me the moment I walked in, even though each on its own seems insignificant. There's a roaring sound in my ear. Someone was here while I was gone. At least this clears Natasha. No, wait, I haven't been home all day. I don't know this happened during the study session. It could have happened at any time during the day. I brace myself and check each room with an umbrella in one hand in case I need a weapon. No one is here. Nothing is disturbed outside of the living room either. That's a relief, but it doesn't fix the problem. I grab my phone and dial my roommate's number, but a cheerful answering service message tells me she's on vacation and therefore it might take a while to respond to calls. It wouldn't be like her to return early without telling me and then disappear again either. I grit my teeth and squeeze my eyes shut. I can't deal with this alone. I need to tell someone. I mean, let's call the detective. That makes sense, right? I find the number Singh told me to call if anything came up and dial it as fast as I can. It rings 3 times and then he answers.
Hello?
This is Adrian. Immediately his voice is sharp and alert.
Is everything alright?
What happened? I just got back to my apartment and I think someone was in here. It's nothing obvious, but things are out of place. Could it be your roommate? No, she's still away. Alright, I'll get in touch with the officer patrolling the area to see if they saw anything that could be of use. Even something that seemed innocuous at the time might be important now. Of course, we can't overlook the possibility that this was an unrelated incident. That would be pretty terrible luck, though. Moving on, did you lock your door before you left this morning? I think so, but any sign of forced entry?
No.
Not that I noticed.
Listen to me carefully.
You should talk to your building manager about changing the lock on your door. Even if you forgot, it's better to take precautions. Alright, I will. I'll be in touch if I learn anything on my end.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fortunately, the building manager is agreeable to my request to change the lock on my apartment door and waits with me until the tax is done. It seems the police filter in on the basic situation because of the cars monitoring the building. The work on my door finishes up just as a visitor arrives.
Am I interrupting?
Please, come in.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. I was just getting the lock changed. Please, sit down.
Kim flips open his notepad and sits down next to me on the couch.
How was your day?
Nerve-wracking?
Oh?
How so? He's a psychologist, so I see no reason to hide how I've been feeling all day. I keep expecting something to happen. Every little thing feels like a threat. I'd like to chalk it up to paranoia, but I feel like I'll be in danger if I do
I
that.
see.
Understandable. He makes a note and then looks up at me
So,
again.
what's
You're
going
a marketing student, correct? How do you like that? It's fine. What are your classes like? Right now we're doing deep dives into the marketing funnel and how to develop marketing strategies for corporations based on their growth and audience. And you enjoy it? Sure, you like psychology, don't you? He smiles. Sure. He writes something else on his notepad. I fight the urge to try and see what's written about me so far.
What do you think?
What do you think of the business department?
Um,
Is he creating a psych profile for me or something? Some students have an attitude problem. They're troublemakers? No, they're model students when it comes to class, but they act like they have to become the next billionaires by using their classmates as stepping stones. They do anything to get ahead. But not all of the students are like that. No, just the vocal ones, the one who want you to think they'll be the next big name. I have friends there too, though. There's a lot of hardworking people. Kim nods and writes something down. How are your classes going? Well enough. Good to know. So, of course, the main reason I'm here is because of the incident the other night. My stomach flips. Now that the time has come, part of me wishes we could delay this conversation longer after all. When the incident occurred, how did you feel? I felt like I was dreaming.
This is natural.
That's a common response to a situation like this. Extreme shock can seem so unreal that the person has difficulty accepting that it's actually happening. Now I keep playing those moments over and over again in my mind. Sometimes I feel like it's all about to happen again. He nods and makes a note.
Oh?
When that happens, is it vivid?
No.
Not usually. It's more like I'm picturing what could happen, imagining it happening again in a different place to different people. A shiver runs through me. Are you having any trouble distinguishing between reality and fantasy? Sometimes I'm not sure if something's wrong or if it's just paranoia, if that's what you mean. Being aware of your paranoia is a good thing, but don't fall into the trap of ignoring genuine warning signs because you dismiss everything as paranoia. Right, that makes sense. Do you have an email address? I'd like to send some materials I think will be able to help you. Oh, sure. I write down my email address for him and hand it over. Thank you. I think that's enough for a first session, but we should meet again soon. Is there a day this week that would work? Thursday night at the same time should be fine. Good, I'll see you then. Hopefully by then they'll have caught the killer. Perhaps. Is this your first time on a murder case? In this sense, yes. It's not my first time delving into a murderer, though. What do you mean? When I was a student, one of my professors set up a surprise webcam talk with a guy on death row. It was a surprise for us, I should say. What was it like? It was unsettling. He had murdered 3 women along an empty highway and buried their bodies at a farm nearby. He was only caught when his 4th victim escaped. I shudder. I can imagine how that 4th victim felt. Thank God she managed to get away. By the time we saw him, he had been behind bars for a decade. Talking to students like us counted as good behavior, so he was happy to participate. You know, he insisted he had done nothing wrong. Oh, he didn't deny the murders, but he seemed to think that he shouldn't have been punished for it. He claimed the whole world was against him. Highly disturbing, and no matter where you sat, it seemed like he was looking right at you. Turns out it was all pre-recorded, our professor's idea of a trick, or perhaps an experiment. What? It was fake? Was the guy even a real serial killer?
I'm afraid not.
Who knows? If someone you trust showed you a video of a guy in handcuffs and told you he killed 3 people, would you doubt it? I suppose not. Real or not, it was a memorable lead into our section on the psychology of murderers. People kill for so many different reasons, some of which might seem inexplicable to us. You mean like God told them to do it? Well, that's one possibility, but even that is understandable. If you believe that was what was happening to you, it makes sense you'd obey. Just like killing out of anger, jealousy, greed, these motivations are logical, if unconscionable.
Think about it like this.
Consider, though, someone who kills for the thrill of it or because they want attention, or someone who seeks another person's death as having a benefit for them, as if other people were pawns on a chessboard. Or someone who thinks a specific person's death is simply a necessary event for the order of the universe. All of these motives might seem to us to be quite illogical, but to the person committing the crime, it's the most logical thing in the world. So, what about the killer in this case? Any idea?
I'm afraid not.
I'm afraid I have no way of predicting that with the little information we have. I was afraid of that. Still, if there's anything you'd like a psychologist's perspective on, just say the word and I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
He stands
Until
up.
our next session.
Until Thursday, then. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Once Kim leaves, I check the lock again and then sit down and finish up my remaining homework. The assignments are simple enough for a change, and I finish with time to spare. I turn my laptop on and see that Kim's email has arrived. I download the documents he sent to read later. I wonder. Before I can think better of it, I find myself on the university website. I click around until I find the swim team's page. They are. My throat tightens as I recognize the girls from the pool. In the photo, they have bright smiles for the camera, not knowing what will happen to them in the future. They thought their whole lives were ahead of them. In a few days, they'll be put in their final resting places without any future at all. If Natasha used to swim with them, she should be somewhere in these photos too. There's a page for photos of events. After scrolling back a few months, I find her. She's standing with the girl who tried to run. They're smiling. Natasha Diadrio and Rebecca Lau. Rebecca was a nursing major sophomore year. Another page contains brief news posts about the swim team and their competitions. I scroll numbly through. They drove to a swimming competition in Atlanta, had a picnic at the park in town, hosted a food charity drive last fall. The words blur together until I see Natasha's name again. I stop scrolling. The post is from a few months ago. Natasha Diadro announced today that she would be leaving the swim team. Although she has been one of the team's premier swimmers, she has chosen to pursue a solo career instead. Her teammates wish her luck on her journey. Does that mean there was bad blood between them? Anxious again, I close the laptop and flop onto my bed. I can already tell it's going to be a long, restless night. Day 3, Wednesday. It's been over 24 hours and they still haven't found the culprit. Still, there haven't been any more murders since then. Maybe this isn't a serial killer. Maybe the culprit had a specific grudge against someone at the pool that day. Maybe I was only caught up in this by chance after all. Maybe the culprit doesn't see me as a threat. Maybe I'll be fine. Ugh, I don't see how you survived accounting. It's not that bad once you sit down and work through it. We have software that can do all this stuff. You still should understand the basic principles.
No.
Yeah, no thanks. I'd rather just let the computer handle it. Be glad you don't have to take any programming classes to drop out after the first day. Not a chance. He pouts and take a bite from his spring roll. I'll get it done, even if it's a waste of time. As long as it gets done in the end, I suppose it doesn't matter if you complain about it the entire time.
Are you okay?
So, how are things? I make a non-committal noise and take a bite of my own roll. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Just don't go out at night and try to avoid being alone as much as possible. That's easy to say, but it's a lot harder in practice. It's not like I can call someone up whenever I want to step out of the apartment for a minute. Why not? Are you kidding? Once or twice might be fine, but eventually I'd just be a pest. Although personally, I'm hoping this all gets resolved before it comes to that. I don't relish living the rest of my life this
I'll
way.
protect you no matter what.
I wouldn't mind. Trust me, eventually I'd even start getting on your nerves. Or are you thrilled by the idea of me calling you up for a trip to the gym? You know, I was saying to myself just the other day that I should get back to working out. Since when have you worked out? I used to go to the gym at least once a week. Thank you. Really? I had no idea. Well, I'd rather use the tiny gym at my apartment for now anyways. After what happened at the recreation center, I don't think I can handle going to a big gym again. At least not for a while.
Yeah.
I stab a forkful of salad and have it partway to my mouth when a group of campus and city police enters the dining hall. Even with students spilling about, they stand out. One or two campus officers walking around is normal enough. Sometimes they'll even have dogs. Just take them out for a walk around campus. It's less typical to see the city police here though, and they walk with purpose. My heart leaps. Did they find the killer and are coming to tell me? Even as the possibility crosses my mind, my stomach twists. Singh probably would have called me if there was a breakthrough, and it wouldn't take this many officers to break the news. Did something else happen? The officers weave their way past the cafeteria tables until it's clear they're headed straight for ours. I look up with mingled hope, dread, and confusion. They stop by our table. Are you Edwin Anderson? What? Yes, what do you need? We have a few questions to ask you in regards to the deaths of 4 students Sunday night. Will you come with us? Hold on, what's this all about?
What are you doing?
Are you running checks on all her friends? We have just a few questions for you, Mr. Anderson. Please come with us to the precinct. We'll also need you to hand over your knife.
Huh?
Knife? Edwin owns a knife? I don't bring a knife to my classes. You can search me if my word isn't good enough. That won't be necessary as long as you cooperate.
Whatever.
Fine. Edwin? Don't worry, this won't take long. I'll answer whatever questions they have and they'll realize I'm not involved. My heart thumps in my ears. The world is spinning. I can't believe the police want to question Edwin and are treating him like a potential suspect, no less. I'm coming with you. You can't accompany him into the interrogation room. I know, I'll wait in the lobby. Adrian, you'll get this all cleared up and then we'll walk back to campus together, alright?
Thanks.
Thanks, I appreciate it. The officers look at one another and shrug. Fine. As soon as we reach the station, the officers escort Edwin into the interrogation room. The lobby is much more crowded than it was on my previous visits. I'd never considered a police station to be a public place until now. I always thought I'd go my whole life without ever entering one. Numb, I sit down and watch people come and go. They said Edwin has a knife. I'm guessing they didn't mean a kitchen knife. Did they connect his knife to the crime somehow? Would that even be possible to trace back to him? This can't be happening. Once again, I feel like I'm in a nightmare.
Hey there!
Hello. Fawn's voice makes me jump. Despite already startling me, she sidles my way as if trying to be covert. At this rate, we'll have to get you your own desk. I'd rather not become such a frequent guest here. Hey, it could lead to good things. There was this one murder case in the summer of '89 in New Hampshire where a man's death led to his wife learning he was cheating on her. Go on.
What are you talking about?
Right now, this doesn't sound like proof that frequent visits to a police station could lead to good things, but I'm curious about where Fawn is going with this. Learning that meant she could move on without regrets. She bonded with her neighbor over it and they got married. And what does that have to do with me? The point is, you never know what might happen. This whole terrible incident could lead you to forging stronger bonds than ever before. A lot of the cases I've looked at had some interesting turns. Reality really is stranger than fiction. So they say. I sigh and shake my
I
head.
can't believe this.
Right now, I wish this particular case would stop being so interesting. They've called on one of my friends for questioning.
Really?
Really? You didn't know? No, that explains what got Nick so worked up, though. He got a report back from the lab and started making phone calls. I figured it might be the big breakthrough he was looking for. I sure hope not. Not that I don't want this case wrapped up as quickly as possible, but Edwin? I just don't believe it. Did they arrest him?
No.
I don't think so, just brought him in for questioning. Then I wouldn't worry too much yet. Unless they have decisive evidence, there are still a lot of possibilities. I clear my throat and search for a way to change the subject. You cover a lot of different unsolved crimes on your blog, right? Got any interesting non-murder ones you'd like to share? Oh, there are so many. You should really check out my blog, you know. How can I even pick one to share when they're all so fascinating? Like the one about a man who bled to death in a locked hotel room after making a series of strange phone calls? Or a hiking group that ran away from their tent in the middle of the winter and froze to death? And of course, they aren't all morbid, like the guy who hijacked a plane and asked for millions before parachuting out and they never found him.
Yeah.
I've actually heard of that one. Big mysteries like that have been studied extensively. That's why I like to focus on ones closer to home. There's no shortage of unsolved cases either. How can a crime just go unsolved?
Theoretically.
It depends. If there's enough evidence to solve it and it still doesn't get solved, then it's usually the result of police incompetence. Should a junior detective really say like that? You know, crime scenes getting contaminated, investigators not talking to all the witnesses, evidence getting lost. She shakes her head. But don't worry, our county's clearance rate, meaning the rate that crimes are marked as solved, is higher than average. Your case also has a bit of media attention, so that will help. Thanks. Let's just hope this isn't one of those cases where there isn't enough evidence then. A group of officers emerge from the hallway to the interrogation room and I lift my head, but Edwin isn't with them. However, Natasha is. Fawn follows my gaze. That girl was somewhere on the same team as the victims, but she left a month ago. There are rumors they didn't leave on entirely good terms. Yeah, I did a little research myself. Be careful around her, just in case. Natasha is already walking out the door. I'd sure like to talk to her again, but I did tell Edwin I'd wait for him. I was hoping to ask Singh for updates on the case, too. Let's stay and wait here. No, I should wait for Edwin. He needs me right now. Even if that means sitting here for another hour. So, this friend of yours who was called in for questioning, Edwin? She tilts her head and squints at the ground. He's not a swimmer, is he? Definitely not. Does he belong to a fraternity? Yeah, why? Is that important?
Interesting.
I'm gonna go look something up, okay? Just sit tight. Fawn leaves in a hurry while I stare after her in confusion. Guess there's nothing to do but wait. At least I can get some homework done. Sometime later. There we go, homework complete. I'm a little surprised that their questioning isn't over yet until I look at the clock. Hey, it's only been 15 minutes. Oh boy, this could be a long day. A familiar voice reaches my ears from down the hall. It's Fawn talking to someone else. Is that Detective Singh? I glance around. No one is paying much attention to me, so I stand up and move closer to the hall. I strain to hear what they're saying. Correct. The serrated blade is what helped us to identify the type of knife used. It has a specific cut to it. And that meant you could expand the scope of your search for witnesses.
Exactly.
Are they talking about the murder weapon? Serrated, though the killer used a blade with a jagged edge? Wait a minute, and they think Edwin owns a knife like that? Is that what this is all about? The murder weapon hasn't been confirmed to belong to Edwin Anderson, though. True, multiple witnesses have testified to seeing him in possession of a decorative knife with a serrated edge that matches the description of the murder weapon, but we have yet to find the murder weapon itself. My stomach swoops and I feel the floors falling away from under me. Multiple witnesses? No way. Why, do you have a theory?
Yep.
Yes, there's something I want to look into. I should have all the information I need now. Thanks, Nick. If you have a breakthrough, do let the rest of us know. Fawn's footsteps carry her further down the hallway, and a moment later, I hear Singh approaching. I return to my seat, thoughts in a blur from what I just overheard. A moment later, Singh emerges into the lobby, and his gaze lands on me. Adrian? You know you don't have to come by here every day, right? I can't tell if he means that as a joke or if he honestly thinks I need to have that explained to me. I'm waiting for someone. He furrows his brow and then confusion clears from his face. Oh, right. The officers did mention something about you coming in with a detainee. He's your classmate, right? Yes. Just a classmate, or he's my friend? You know him pretty well then. Yes, I'd say so. My head is buzzing with questions. Where's this going? Is Edwin honestly a suspect? Am I a character witness right now? Detective Singh, what is going on here? Are there really witnesses who claim Edwin owns a knife that matches the murder weapon? He raises his eyebrows. Eavesdropping on police business, are you? Sorry, I heard you and Fawn talking and I shake my head. I can't believe what I heard, though. So, you don't know about your friend's knife? No, the first I'd heard of it was when the officers mentioned it. Suppose it wouldn't come up in casual conversation. Most people don't sit around discussing their weaponry. I'll say. Now, I have a few more questions for you. About Edwin. Yes. How long have you known him? I guess it's been about 3 years now. We started talking as freshmen and eventually became friends. Now we hang out pretty regularly. What kind of activities does he do? Any sports, clubs? He sometimes goes to parties or takes trips with his fraternity. I don't think he does anything sports related, although he mentioned that he used to go to the gym. Do you know where he was the night of the murders? All of these sound like questions he should have asked Edwin, not me, unless he's trying to match up our answers. I don't know. His fraternity members might be able to tell you. Do you know any of them?
No.
Not personally. That's fine, and don't worry, we'll release him soon. He's not the only suspect, just one who has a bit more attention on him now. Is there anything else I can help with? Eager to get your friend cleared? Well, yes, but I'm also just worried. It feels like it's taking us forever to close this. Well, yes, is that normal? Shouldn't you have more leads by now? He rubs his forehead. This would be a lot easier to explain in the crime lab than out here in the lobby, if you don't mind hearing descriptions of the crime scene, that is. The way he says that makes me think this conversation won't be pleasant no matter where we have
Hey
it.
there.
Oh good, you're still here. Tom pops up so suddenly I nearly jump out of my skin. Nick, what are you doing here? Just going over a few case details with Adrian. Perfect.
Hmm?
Is it? I think I've had the breakthrough you were hoping for. Oh? There are rumors that a certain fraternity on campus gives its new inductees a gift to honor them for being selected for such a prestigious group. That gift happens to be a commemorative knife with a serrated blade.
Huh?
What?
This is just a theory, but
Of course, it's all just rumors. You aren't officially allowed to have weapons like that on campus, so it has to be kept hush-hush. But it makes you think, doesn't it? If anyone has that knife because of his fraternity, then every member is a suspect. It's not such damning evidence for him after all. I had already begun investing such angles, but it seems we'll need to look into the fraternity in more detail. Thank you, Fawn. She shrugs. Just doing my job. Of course, if you really wanted to thank me, you'd hang out with me somewhere other than the police station. This isn't exactly the best atmosphere for making friends, you know. I laugh. She has a point. I'm about to head out for the day, so... Finn clears his throat. Adrian, if you'd like to visit the lab, I need to know now. Okay, well, before we continue, I think that's actually going to be it for this one. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.